you can see, got a bunch of parts here I cut up. Lots of 327 millimeter, 365 millimeter, 2.5 inch, and so I use this as cut list. So I just go, it's like a checklist, like a task list on our end cap, our S transitionals, and then we got our doubles. We are in the corner, we still need it, but we need a miter cut that one. These are all bonus parts. By the way, we brought the Insta360 out. We filmed a little bit of me cutting the stuff up, so we have a little footage on that. I'll be putting together the modules next. So today and maybe tomorrow, I have a feeling it's going to take 2 more days. We are going to be cutting the module pieces, but then we can sand the pieces. And then after sanding them, we can start gluing and screwing them together. Done. Woohoo! This is a lot of wood. Look at it. Hey guys and gals, so this is my Nomad and this is my cut list. You can see I went all the way through and cut everything up now. It's all taken care of. Yeah, we were easily able to keep track of the entire project using this SuperNote. And you know what? I got this SuperNote because a eye doctor said that I had some eye strain issues. They were talking about having eye surgery because I'm on the backlit displays too often during the day, for over 15 hours a day, and he wanted me to reduce screen time. So he wanted me to put a lot of this stuff on paper. But then I saw this e-ink tablet and we decided to give that a shot, and guess what? It has reduced the eye strain issues and has improved my eyesight. So yep, thank you SuperNote. So let's go over to the model railroad here. And you can see I've added some new things. I have current supplies. I have 3D print items. Yes, we're going to be doing 3D printing. As you can see, these are some of the things I came up with. We're going to do some tents, some logging trailers, loading docks, tunnel portals, car bridges, boats, logs, stone walls, farm tractor, fence. That's just a couple of more things I want to print. I can show you those things right now if you would like to see those as well. We can show you some of the 3D printed items and some of the other model scenery stuff I'm working on. We're just printing the bottom half for now. You can see it's just going to be like these steps and basically the surrounding thing here. You can kind of see the slice. Okay, so 40 minutes in, we got an hour left. Look at that! That's not bad. Oh, it likes to cover it up when they come over with the camera. He's noticed that, the print head. Yeah, so the walls and stuff are going in. I don't know how it's going to look when it's all said and done, but so far it doesn't look horrendous from what I can see. Hey everyone, check it out. We got 1 minute left of our print that we're working on. This is the bottom half. Yeah, might be too much brightness, yeah, coming off the print head there. This is an hour and 40-minute print. I swore I thought a local train was going to go by. We have a freight line not too far from my house, and when it goes by, it makes the whole house shake like an earthquake. I swear I thought that was going to occur. You can see the stepping on there, but that's because actually the siding of this building is to represent like a regular horizontal like wall siding. 1 hour and 43 minutes is the actual time on that. But here is the finished little part. It's going to need some cleanup. The church roof, I got to the scale that I needed to, and you can see it's going to take 2 hours and 15 minutes just for the roof. I finished the bottom half of the church. Took 1 hour and 48 minutes for that. So the whole thing altogether will be about 4 hours. Try to do this again. I try to do the church roof so you can see end scale. Try number 3. I'm having some problems with it sticking. So this is the start of it. You can see it lifted. So this stuff here, disappearing purple glue. I put a bunch of this on the build plate. So you can see that there's a lot of glue on there. Usually it comes off like this. Looks like it's kind of dirt, but it's not. It's this glue stuff, and it helps it stick to a glass bed with painter's tape on it. So I put a bunch more of this on there, and hopefully that will improve. But you can see it lifted in the back. So I'm looking, I can't tell. I mean, it's part of the problem is that light. You see how it's like blown out right there? That's a light on that. I wish I could turn it off, you know, the light that's on the print head, but I can actually tell without seeing the shadow. Yeah, I can't really tell right now. I'll have to come back and look at it. We're just getting ready for dinner anyways, so give me a chance to let it go for a little bit, see if it's going to lift back off. If so, then I'll have to try some other thing. Hey guys and gals, it's 1 hour and 13 minutes in. I just finished dinner. Let's see if we can see anything here. It's really hard to see. Oh, it looks like we got something going. We got something going. So we're doing the roof here of that church. Oh my god. I hope it turns out. I mean, you never know with these things until you get them out. Oh yeah, look at that. It's starting to go. It has a steeple though. So it's got a, that's why it's got more time. As you can see here, that little picture. Yeah, the light's on. Let me see if I can zoom in. See the picture? That's what it's going to look like. Hopefully it turns out. So this is a church. Now the only thing with the church that didn't really turn out great is the little cross on top. We'll have to print another one and glue it together. The top and the bottom are 2 separate pieces, if you remember. And it will need a little cleanup here and there. We'll have to go in with my sanding equipment, my little Dremel-like tools, little rotary tools. Clean it up, paint it up. But once I have the model filler, the paint, and the sanding done, you can't tell the difference that this was actually 3D printed. So they printed off in 2 separate pieces. This bottom piece took 1 hour and 40 minutes, while the top took 2 hours and 15 minutes. So yeah, they're pretty long prints. But 15 cents compared to $54 is a steal. And I really like this type of church better. It's sort of that old country rural church. I actually seen a church like this in several places across the United States. I've seen them in South Dakota. I've seen them in Wisconsin, and they're really kind of cool. So it's really cool to have a style church like this in my next layout. We're going to do a small end scale bridge. This will take about 43 minutes, and this will be able to accommodate 2 lanes worth of traffic. Hey guys and gals, so this right here is that little bridge that I did. It needs a little work. First of all, it's a little too thin. I'm gonna have to add a little bit more support there. So we're probably most likely gonna redo it. So this here is the adjustments I made to make it a little bit thicker. That was the problem we were having with that bridge when we first printed it. It was pretty, it was going to fall apart. It really was. So we made it a little bit thicker, just added another solid to it. I do a lot of my CAD stuff in Tinkercad. It's free, by the way. You can sign up for free and use these sort of visual. It's all visual done. You got basic shapes. You can even use like some starting points of regular objects as well. But I like to use basically just the basic shapes to get started. So I made this little bridge that we can use in our model railroad very inexpensively, by the way. It's just going to be an automobile bridge, 2-lane road. I used a bridge in one of my past layouts, and they weren't very expensive then, but that same bridge by that same company, that's like $30 or $40 now. Inflation has really skyrocketed, so you can print this in your 3D printer, something like this, and it's only like maybe 1 or 2 cents. So I printed off a thicker version of that bridge, and yeah, so it took about maybe 10 minutes in Tinkercad just to add that bigger thickness, and it did increase the print time to 1 hour and 9 minutes, but yeah, once we have it all painted up and stuff, that is going to work great. This will work out really good for farm fencing. Might do another lot of 4 of these later, but yeah, that's a good amount of fencing that we can use for our farm, and it's going to look awesome. I have several pieces of it. I'm just showing you that it pretty much looks almost identical all the way through. Little cleanup here or there on these pieces, you know. You can see where there is occasionally, like right there, see that? You just have to go in there with a little knife. It's just an extra piece. It comes up. You take a little hobby knife and it comes right off, that little extra piece. So, yeah, by the time you paint these and just use that little hobby knife, yeah, you won't tell the difference. And they do bend too, by the way. So, if you want to see, they will bend if you want them to bend while you glue them down. These are one of the easiest things you can do with a 3D printer. These things take like maybe 3 or 4 minutes a piece. They take very little filament. And believe it or not, if you went to a hobby shop and you bought, you usually can buy these in sections of 8, but they're usually smaller pieces. They're like 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you get way less. They're like $12, $10 to $12 for 8 pieces of this. This costs you like, I think all these pieces together, maybe 1 or 2 pennies. So yeah, you can save a ton on the fencing material if you use a 3D printer. Hey guys and gals, check out this really small hunter's cabin. I did this on my 3D printer over the last week of really cold weather here. So instead of being in the shop during, extreme cold, I was doing more 3D printing stuff. So yeah, it's a small little hunter's like cabin. It's a real rustic cabin. It does need a little sanding like all 3D prints do. Little sanding, maybe even a little model filler, and then some painting. But yeah, it's really kind of cool, and it looks very rustic like style cabin that we can put within our layout. I'm going to be doing a very rural layout for my next layout, and I'm going to want to put a lot more homes or houses, or like residential things, and printing these out. Like this, I think took about an hour to print this. And yeah, look at it. It looks good. It looks good. Yes, all of them need a little cleanup. That's what normally happens. But yeah, you can get some really good scenic details or buildings from 3D printing. Now, you can't really light all these ones up as easy as some of the kits you buy. So for the most part, the ones I do on my 3D printer will be the houses that are not lit up. And then I'll buy 1 or 2 other models where you can light them up. You see what I mean? So I will still be purchasing a few different kits, but for the most part, 90% of my model railroad is 3D printed parts, or kit bashed, or I'll even use styrene, or even sometimes cardboard. Yeah, you can't tell usually. So very nice, eh? I'm going to continue to manage it using this awesome little e-ink SuperNote device, which has helped reduce my eye strain and has helped me become more productive at work, at home, and now
in the hobby.
For our modulars. So yeah, if you don't know, I did it all DIY by going to a local lumberyard, mostly because going to a local lumberyard and picking up all these pieces and processing them myself cost me $60 in lumber. But if I would have bought kits, because they sell kits that do basically the same thing, I would have had to pay $855. So yeah, by doing it myself, I'm currently at about $90, $60 in wood, and then a couple extra pieces to put the rest of it together at $90. Where if I would have bought kits just to do the bases, it would have been $855. Phase is cutting these into pieces, then taking these things, which are called T-nuts, and we're going to be putting those in those feet. And what they do is they hold the bolt, which are these things here. These are going to be our little leveling bolts. So I picked these bolts up for $5 a box, so I got 23 for $5, and I picked up 3 boxes, but I'm only really going to need $12 worth of these. So yep, those will be for our little feet. And these are the bolts. And these bolts, I got 120 in this package for $10. I only need to use half of them. I also have to sand these pieces. Let's just take a look at some of them. Look how bad rough cut some of these are. So yep, we're also gonna have to sand them. So I picked up a number of different grit sandpaper at 120, 80, and 60 grit right here. And so this is 1x3, which comes out to 3/4 by 2.5, and they were in 8-foot sections, so I cut them down myself. These here are spindle pieces for railings. They're $1 each. They're about 3 feet long, and they're 1 1/4 square. So yeah, and then I bought a 4x8 sheet of 1/4-inch plywood, which I'm going to be using actually my jigsaw, because I'm going to be cutting out the pieces around the track, because the layout that I'm building, I'm going to actually put a lot of the area outside the track area below grade.